Happy Saturday, you guys. Today's my day off, and I'm able to try to look into some of the stories that I discussed earlier this week and last week. I try to update as much as I can. I work, Monday through Friday, and when I do get off of work, I have little time before I'm able to go to sleep. But all throughout work, believe it or not, every chance I get, I'm looking up these cases and I'm trying to see if anything has changed. Anything. So a quick rewind of the Sebastian Rogers missing persons case. He is a autistic 15-year-old boy. He allegedly left his home barefoot and with a flashlight, one of those keychain flashlights. He left several hours before he was due to get up in the morning and go to school. Sebastian resided with his mother, Katie, and his stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, in Henderson, Tennessee. Now, the couple, Chris and Katie, they did an interview and people watched it, found it peculiar, to say the least. I kind of found it a little peculiar as well. I mean, there was a little situation where Katie kind of laughed and then she looked at Chris. Now, I don't know this woman. I don't know her personality. It could have been a nervous laugh. It could have been. And we're watching her and we're trying to get an understanding of really what has happened to this child. So a lot of people are starting to feel that Chris did something to his stepson and Katie is definitely covering up for it. They really are. And I mean, that's what happens, when something like this goes into the media and there's definitely a step person involved. People feel that, something isn't right. Now, nearby surveillance, and I also said this in the first video I did about Sebastian, nearby surveillance would see two flashlights around 3 a.m. around Sebastian's home. So they're believing that, this kid actually left the house with this flashlight and another person was there with a flashlight too. Now that was debunked by Seth Rogers. He said it wasn't any flashlights. It was actually a garbage truck. It was actually a garbage truck. And I believe, if my memory serves me correct, in my first video, I said that the garbage people had actually said that the garbage weighed more than it normally did. And that kind of was weird to me because I'm like, really? You guys know the difference of the amount in pounds of garbage? It was just strange. But like I said, I've been looking at a lot of stuff and I try to really stick with what the news is saying. But, sometimes the news, they're getting it from the common people. So they don't really know exactly what's going on as well. But what we do know is Sebastian has been missing since February 26th. Now, I did look at an interview with Nancy Grace, and the bio dad was on that interview because we all wanted to know, like Nancy, how did anyone in the family, meaning Chris and Katie, know that he was barefoot when he left? Well, he has 3 pair of shoes. He has a pair that his mom and dad brought him and a pair of boots. And they were at the front door. So obviously he's not allowed to walk through the house with the shoes on. So she would see that his shoes were still at the door. And any old shoes, because Nancy said, well, maybe he had some old shoes that he put on. And the father believes that, Katie had got rid of any old shoes or that just wasn't, good enough to wear anymore. So it is presumed that he is barefooted out there with a keychain flashlight. So, I mean, hey, we have to go with that, right? Okay, so Seth Rogers, he shares custody with Katie. He received a call by the stepfather saying that his son was missing on that day. Seth Rogers, he was nowhere around when his son went missing, and he is not a suspect. That's what he said. He's not a suspect, and he doesn't know or believe that, it was said, I'll just put it that way. It was said that the mother and the stepfather or not a suspect at that time. However, he did also say that, it's still an ongoing investigation. So the police are not going to say, oh, you're a suspect or you're not a suspect. They're trying to figure out where this kid is. Definitely. And I've seen interviews with Seth Rogers, and this is a man torn that's trying to keep it together when he's on camera. He just wants his son back. That's it. He just wants his son back. And Chris Proudfoot, he has to leave his home and he has to go to work in Memphis. Now, I get it. I understand that. I definitely get it. However, eyebrows was raised and people were giving Katie Proudfoot the side eye because she says at some point she plans to return back to Hendersonville, but she's going to accompany her husband, which is a 3-hour drive away. Now, I like myself. I try to put myself in this situation. Would I leave? Now, I know my husband has to leave because we have bills coming into this house. We have bills. Some people do ask for, donations so they can get flyers out and they're able to stay home. They're able to. They do, GoFundMes to try to, not just to get money to go on vacation, like some people do in the middle of crises, but no, they actually will do a GoFundMe so that, they can, these flyers cost money if no one is going to do them for free for them. These flyers cost money. Give them time to maybe, take a couple weeks off. It gives them a little bit time if you have the money, but to my knowledge, I don't believe that the stepfather and the wife did any kind of, GoFundMes. They're leaving. He's going back to work and she's going to be with her man while he works. That's as far as I know. So a lot of people, again, are giving the side eye. So myself, if my husband has to work, okay, I understand that. But trust and believe, I'm going to be calling him like all the time because I have to try to keep my shit together. I would. And probably be calling my, my ex-husband too, because this is our child. Definitely. Hopefully there's no animosity, or if it is, they could at least come together for this situation. But if they can't, they'll have to do it separately. But that's how I feel about the situation. I would need to be home because I don't know really what happened to my child. He could be coming through that door at any minute. Or he could be, I imagine she has a cell phone, so she doesn't have to wait by the phone at home. But he could be coming through that door, or a police officer could be coming to that door. I need to be home. That's how I feel. Leaving my house that my child lives at, and the last time I seen him was that night when we exchanged I love yous and he goes to bed. No, I would have to stay home. You could not keep me from leaving that house. Going to Texas real quick to get to Atlanta, I've seen stories, and you probably have too, where children have went missing 20 years ago, and the family is still in that same house, and they still have the same landline number because they know that's the only number that child had, and they keep it on because they're hoping that child may come back. This is what they're going through. They have to hold on to the last time that child was there, But Katie's leaving to, again, go accompany her man. So I guess she has her reasoning. She did say she wants to wait till everything calms down. No, Miss Proudfoot. Nothing's going to calm down until they find out where Sebastian is. And if he is no longer with us, but he is found, it's definitely not going to calm down at all. It's not. But again, I don't know this woman's personality, so I don't know. Just like, that little giggle there. I don't know her personality when she giggled at the stepfather and looked at him before she continued to speak. I don't know her personality. Again, it could be a nervous giggle, but I don't know. So, United Cajun Navy, they call off their search because things were getting too dangerous. They were actually receiving death threats, and the people that was searching was fearing for their safety. Now, this is what I don't understand. Why would adults, I'm assuming these are adults that are threatening these people, because I think a female and a male within this search, have been approached by people. One was approached and one was called. So I'm assuming again that these are adults. Why would you be so invested in a case to where you don't want it to be solved? You don't want this boy to be found. Why are you so invested? That is very scary to me. That's very scary that you're trying to call off a whole search. Now, me just thinking, there's apps where you can make yourself sound like anybody. So, is there children behind this situation? And they're trying to scare, because this has to be really asinine. Like, only kids would think of, calling someone and saying, you better not search or I'm going to kill you. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But it can very well be adults too that's trying to call off the search. So again, why would adults be threatening people trying to search for a missing child? Now, they will continue, they said, but not tell where their location is, and anyone that tries to involve themselves in this search will be considered a person of interest. But I still find that so peculiar that people are trying to stop the search of this missing kid. I really do find it very odd. I do. And it may not be the best footage from me, but it's coming up, and it's with Seth Rogers, and he's going to debunk the flashlight issue. I really thought that there was, somebody outside that home with the flashlights. Come to find out, there wasn't anyone outside the home with the flashlights. So this is right now where the case is. This 15-year-old teenager, he is still missing, and his father does have hope that he is alive. And his father, I know he's not going to stop until these answers get solved. He's not. I assure you, he'll stay in the same home. If he knows his kid knows how to get to that house, or he's going to keep that same phone number on, because I recall in an interview, he said, if he knew that his father was looking for him, that he would call him. So he's going to keep that cell phone number because that's what his kid knows. So yeah, this case is just really, really a little fishy, a little iffy. And if this couple is innocent, the leaving, the giggles, is just, it's not really adding up. And I looked at other videos on YouTube where, I guess they were experts, I'm not sure, but they were trying to, detect the body language and certain things, and they just also feel it's off, and again, I know you're innocent until proven guilty. But Katie, as a mom, you're just not moving right in this situation to me. You're just not moving right. And I know we are not alike. We don't know each other. I don't know your personality. But yeah, I'd want to be home because I need for my son to knock on that door and come on in. I need to be home. And would be crazy being there by myself. But, isn't there other family members? Does she not have friends that could come and stop and check on her? This is crazy. This is crazy. And she does have a Facebook page that I just went and I looked at a couple of days ago. The same post. She's telling Sebastian to come home on her Facebook page. And to my knowledge, in the other interviews that I heard with the father, Seth doesn't have social media like that. So, who's she talking to? I don't know. Like I said, it's just really odd, really strange. And definitely I'm going to follow this on through because, again, I hope that this child, like the father thinks, is somewhere playing video games with friends and, he just is not looking at the situation that he's missing. That's what we're hoping. Where is Sebastian Rogers?
Missing. How are you feeling today?
Same as I was yesterday. Just continuing the search, continue looking. I'm not going to give up. Nobody can make me give up.
And where have you been searching? Where do you think he is?
I've been searching everywhere. I mean, anything out of that 5 mile radius that the initial search did, they covered everything there. But there's stuff elsewhere. I mean, we got a lot of territory to cover. And it being over a month, he could be anywhere currently. So I'm searching everywhere.
You, Katie, and Chris had a meeting with TBI today. Did you find out any new information?
Not that I can discuss.
Any progression that might show hope in this search?
Oh, I always have hope. Can't take that away from me.
And how confident are you that Sebastian is alive, and what do you think he's doing right now?
Pretty sure he's probably playing video games somewhere. Nobody's letting him, whoever's got him, they're not letting him see the regular news. They're not letting him surf the internet. Or else he'd know that I'm looking for him. And he'd know that he should actually be trying to get a hold of me. And that keeps me going.
Is there a strong reason to believe he may have been abducted?
I don't know if he's been abducted or if he's just, over at a friend's house. Never know. But I'll know when I find him. I'll know exactly what has happened to him.
And other news outlets were reporting that there were lights seen in the backyard that were caught on camera by a neighbor's video. Is that true?
No. What that was a trash truck. Went through, picked up trash, and when it left, of course it went faster. It didn't have to stop to pick up trash. That's just false information provided by a particular person.
Did the dogs ever pick up a scent for Sebastian?
From my information that I've been given, no.
Did they find anything on Sebastian's cell phone that would, kind of show that he was going to run away or where he might be?
Not that I know of. He didn't have any internet access or anything on there. He had been able to call, text, take a picture, send a picture, use the calculator. That's about it.
Was Sebastian in school on Friday, the day before he went missing?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you, Chris, or Katie, or any of you suspects in this case?
No, we're not.
Have you been cleared?
I don't know if the investigation is still ongoing. We wouldn't be cleared until the investigation is done. But currently, from my understanding, they don't have any information that would attach us to any wrongdoing.
CPS has gone to Katie's house before. You didn't know about that until this investigation. How does that make you feel?
That somebody somewhere dropped the ball because I was never informed. And I'm the biological father. I have joint physical custody. Somebody dropped the ball and didn't reach out and inform the father, which is me. And I don't understand why the state dropped the ball on that one.
And how did you find out about CPS?
Podcast.
And, how does that concern you, especially with this case, that they might have done something to cause him to run away?
I don't know what that really means, but I just know that I don't have all the information.
Is there an official timeline? And I know people, there was, we went to bed at this hour, but does TBI or anyone have an official timeline as to the series?
I'm pretty sure they do, but I'm not involved in the investigation, so I wouldn't have it.
Have the three of you been in contact every day like you were several weeks ago about this?
I was in contact with both Katie and Chris today, but I've heard he said his phone is open and available, so is mine. You can leave a voicemail. Like 7 or 8 people have already left me voicemails today. I'm going. I get people calling me while I'm on the phone, and it's like, I can't just sit there and answer the phone for everybody. If I did that, I probably wouldn't be able to get out of my house.
There's been a lot of criticism over this investigation. I'm sure you've received criticism as well as the Proudfoots. How does that make you feel in a time where you're just trying to find your son?
People are being, that goes back to those keyboard warriors I talked about on the first interview that you and I had. They're still at it. They'll never stop. There's cowards in this world, and then there's people who are go-getters. My feet, they're on the ground. They're never going to leave the ground. I'm going to find my son. Period.
And plans, today on moving forward, any more resources being used on this investigation, or anything you have to say about that?
The United Cajun Navy is currently sitting down there right now at 90 Volunteer Drive in Hendersonville. 10:30. That's when volunteers need to show up. 10:30. Show up, have your ID, sign the paperwork, and they send people out in teams. When you show up, there ain't nobody there except for a couple people. That's because they've already sent teams out. They're just going to keep sending teams out until we find my son.
Have there been a lot of volunteers coming out to help find Sebastian?
Today there was, and I want to thank everybody who did come out. We're seeing an increase, and we're going to continue to see an increase. I'd like the whole state of Tennessee to volunteer, and then we'll hit other states.
And you're Sebastian's father. Tell me, what is Sebastian like?
He's a unique child, all right? It's really hard to describe my son. Besides being unique, whether he's up to no good or he's up to good, he's just got that uniqueness about him. It's really hard to describe. He's my mini-me. If he has a goal, he's going to accomplish that goal. People at school, they liked him. All the kids are wanting to know when he's going to come back. They want to help and volunteer. Teachers are they're putting out prayers every day. Everybody, it's coming up. It's Easter. I'm hoping for an Easter miracle. I could definitely use it in my life right now.
And why did they search the landfill?
I have no idea. They didn't. Not part of the investigation. They're not going to tell me stuff. I am emotionally attached, as any parent should be.
And how often do you meet with TBI?
I call them all the time. Call, text, hey, any new news? They either let me know or they let me know.
Are you happy with the work that all these agencies have done, or do you think there needs to be more?
There could probably always be more. We just got to figure out what more is necessary. Am I happy with them? I'm not unhappy. But you asked me that after my son's back, and it's going to be, I'm happy. All right? Because in law enforcement, it's always goal-oriented. Go to work, put a smile on your face, get the job done. I know that they're putting their effort, 150% effort into this. And I appreciate that. And I'm hoping it will pay off with fruition.
Do you think Katie and Chris are suspects?
I have no idea.
Sebastian's been missing for more than a month now. What keeps you getting up every morning, going out and searching for him?
Being a dad. Having perseverance. Wanting him to come home. Wanting to watch him finish growing up.
Do you wear this every day? Talk to me about this shirt.
This right here is my own billboard to find my son. People notice people. People notice what people are wearing. So I am a walking handout. I have these in my car.
How do you select that photo? It's so cute.
Because it's cute.